What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the More Than Love podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran, and I got my mans with me.
Jay Babel. Yeah, first time we're in the studio here together. You know, it's been a long time coming here. I mean, even some of you that follow us back to the old show that we did Talk Time with Terry Duran. So now we finally got to this point here.
Yeah, we've been, putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to try to put the podcast together. But we've been working together for a couple of years, so this is like you said, this is our first time being able to work together in the studio at the same time. We wanted to do a episode on the journey on how we got here. But before we get into the topic of the night, like we typically do, we're going to break it down with Terry's Top 3, segment where we talk about the most common or controversial posts from my Instagram page at Terry Duran. This week, I put up a viral Steve Harvey video where he was asked a question by Tony Braxton. So let's take a listen.
How do we know that the guy is the right guy? How do we know?
When he is not with you, he can't breathe.
Oh, it's about him.
Yeah, it's about him. It's not you. You'll know.
Oh, no.
But what you got to do is make sure he feels that way about you. When you're away, he doesn't do well without you. He can't breathe good. He's not the same. He calls and checks on you. He wonders about your whereabouts, not in a controlling way, but it's just like he just wants to be in touch. When you get that I can't breathe without you, feeling from that guy, that's him. That's him. Okay. And from your standpoint, if you have no doubt, when you know it's the one, God will make sure you know. He will make sure you just...
All right, now, I often say, I'm real skeptical anytime somebody tries to mix God and religion or relationship advice and religion. Those two things are separate entities to me, right? So for him to add that part at the end just kind of made this further prove that this was a bunch of BS.
Right. I think it's a contradictory in itself. It's also cliche that he can't breathe without you. But he said, what he said? He said, okay, checks on you, but not in a controlling way. Check your whereabouts.
Anybody can check on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a man checking on you or being interested in your whereabouts when he's not around you does not indicate anything about his character as a man. That doesn't make him a good man. That don't make him husband material. He could just be bored and something reminded him of you.
Right.
It could be just something really that simple. But what's really interesting to me is how someone that's grown, been dating men for decades, been around, been in several relationships, got several sisters that have been in relationships and marriages and whatnot, would be this clueless about men to where she would accept this type of nonsense as actual advice. You know what I'm saying? Like she looked like she had a aha moment, like he really put her up on game. You know what I mean?
But it's not realistic. Like, I mean, you see this maybe in movies, see Disney movies or Lifetime movies maybe, but in real life, I just don't hear people say, I can't breathe without you. Every time I'm not with you, it just takes my breath away. I mean,
you're right. That's not realistic. Those are just sweet nothings that somebody tells you because any man that got his life together, that's a quality man, should be able to function independently no matter who he's around. No matter what's going on, he should be able to function and make logical decisions as a man, no matter what the circumstances are. So when you're talking about the whole idea of the one, that's a concept only hopeless romantics believe in. Only hopeless romantics go, the one, my future wife is, like, that type of stuff is not really realistic because being able to be married to somebody is based off compatibility. What type of people you get along with? What type of person could you manage a household with? Like, and those are really.
But I think that's looking at it from a practical dating standpoint, And I think like the way Steve Harvey explained it, that's not a practical dating standpoint.
Well, I mean, what do you mean just practical? Because
well, like you said, finding somebody who's compatible. I mean, the energy's right, the vibe is right. You know.
Well, not just energy and vibe. Those are things that are just feelings. I don't
Right.
think you should make all your dating decisions based off feelings.
No,
You need
not
to,
at all.
like the type of things that I have in my dating and compatibility guide, where I'm talking about responsibility, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, how they handle crisis. Like these are the type of things
Right.
you can legitimately monitor or pay attention to when you're dating somebody.
Right, but I think like energy and vibe. I think those things go hand in hand. That's what I'm saying. The energy and vibes right there. How you gonna get to those things?
Well, see, that really contradicts with a lot of the dating strategies that I see women talking about, like on social media, because a lot of their strategies are built on how can I benefit from a man financially. How can I get a guaranteed relationship or a guaranteed commitment out of a man?
Okay, so that's my question. You don't think like women are gonna try to date the best guy that they can get financially? I mean, don't think it's.
I don't think
at some point, to some degree at least.
I think they should be able to look for a guy that's able to take care of himself. But the problem with that is, you can do bad stuff and get money. Like just because you date a dude that got money that can pay your bills, don't mean you're getting a good man.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You could be with a dude that could buy you all the Louis and not everything you want, and he could still be a trifling dude. You know what I mean? Like so when you have something that doesn't really indicate whether a dude's a quality dude or not, and you make that the main thing you're looking for in a man, you begging for inaccurate results. To me, that's just the way my logic is set up. That's like a dude judging a woman just by how much he enjoyed fucking her. Like that would be stupid to me.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like because that would ignore all the other things that really come along with maintaining a relationship.
I mean, obviously, they would have, it doesn't correlate to the aforementioned that you just said earlier.
Right. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like people pay attention to the wrong thing in a lot of when it comes to making their dating decisions.
Definitely.
So let's keep the ball rolling. This was a poll that I put up, or a question that I just put up on my page for the ladies. And it said, ladies, what makes someone credible enough for y'all to actually listen to them about men and how they feel about relationships? And this came up because, I'm always having women question my credibility or question, try to discredit my commentary. And that's expected. I expect women to have a negative reaction to hearing how men really think and feel. Because it's really unfiltered and it's not candy coated or pandered. I'm not pandering to women. But the thing about it is, I don't care if women disagree or try to discredit me. I don't need women to tell me what men experience dating women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have enough personal experience. I have enough male friends that have way more experience with women than me. And all of our experiences kind of mirror one another. You know what I mean? Like the things that we experience.
Well, I think I think what gets missed here is the substance in the message. I think sometimes they think, okay, come on, baby, brash, abrasive in what you're saying at times. Even sometimes out here, I think some people take it the wrong way. Yeah. And it's like you're trying to guide them to put them on the right path.
Yeah.
You're basically, think of it like, a coach put in play with, for somebody that plays competitive sports, plays on teams. Was the coach always nice to you? No. He probably got yelled at and everything to make you the best player that you can be.
Yeah, but to me, somebody that's credible to get relationship advice from, to me, I would judge the things that they actually say. Right. Are these things that I see in the real world with the average person? Or with not celebrities, not Cardi B, not Offset, like not nobody that's a celebrity or an exception to the rule. When you see people that are around you, or just men in general, the men that people view as husband material, men that got quality careers, etc., talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never gonna have a man that's a quality dude that's gonna be able to sit with me in a group of men and tell me that what I'm saying is not representative of what men experience. They're not. they can disagree. They can talk about I wouldn't do that because they believe something different, but that doesn't change what the vast majority of men think or experience as a whole. And that's what credible means, right? Believability. How can you not believe the source? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women listen to women that tell them what men think and feel.
Right, but and I guess, or they listen to the men that do these YouTube channels, podcasts, whatever, and and there's a lot of them that do pander to what they want to hear, so they'll take that and run with it. Whereas, I think that sometimes they take things
without questioning it.
Right, and you should question it. Hell, we don't mind it. You can question us. I mean, I know sometimes we say things, probably have said some things that's considered to be taboo or controversial. Do we expect it to be questioned? Yeah, absolutely.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, so questioning a discussion point or an argument is one thing, but these women will apply credibility to somebody just because they on TV or just because they make money. Like, so
I think it's more so they gravitate towards what they like. Let's just say Beyonce says the same thing that you're saying. They're probably going to gravitate to more of that than they gravitate towards you because it came from Beyonce. Maybe she said it a little different. She said it,
it's just hard from the outside looking in. It's hard to figure out where is the standard on what's credible and what's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you want to know how the men that are husband and father material think, wouldn't it be smarter to listen to men that most people consider to be husband and father material?
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that.
That's the simple part to me.
Like I said, I just think it's more so the time. Some people take things out that you could talk, you could flow or whatever, and then you say the one thing they don't like, and then you get a couple. I guess you get a couple of things on you. Oh, you hate women, this, that, and the third. And I'm not calling the listeners idiots. Obviously not. We definitely appreciate the support of the show and the people who've been listening to us, even back to the old show, Talk Time and Tell the Line.
Yeah, man, we definitely appreciate the support. I like being able to spark the conversations and hope, the people that are able to have these discussions with their friends and play the podcast on their way to work, etc., or in the office. Those are the type of discussions that can help somebody prevent from making a bad decision. Let's wrap it up with our third post. This post, man, this is always a hot topic discussion. So this was a post where I put up a scenario. It says, a woman dedicated herself to the gym and loses almost 75 pounds. One of her coworkers that she has had a crush on for years has started to show interest now that her appearance is drastically different. She's conflicted on whether or not she should get involved with him because he only viewed her as a platonic friend when she was fat. Should she give him a chance? And so now, when I saw the response to this, man, to me it just seemed like a lot of women that are just anxious to be able to make a man feel how being rejected made her feel, or being undesired made her feel.
But that has more to do with ego more than anything.
Yeah, because it's not a logical decision to me. Right. Like, if you've been fantasizing about someone for years, like to the point that you have a crush on them, there has to be something about them you like. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think most women that would have a crush on a man are just thinking about fucking him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's only the part, because the chicks that I've had crushes on, it wasn't just a sex thing. I remember a crush I had in high school. I would be envisioning what kind of cars we was gonna drive as adults and name our kids and stuff. Like, so when you got a crush, you kind of projecting your best case scenario with the person.
Right, you're projecting your fantasies on it when you have a lot of times when you have a crush on somebody.
Right, so for a woman to go through all the effort and dedication it takes to lose 75 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a signal.
What? I mean, listen, if she's trying to lose that, she's doing it for somebody. I mean, now, of course, maybe she wants to do it for herself. Maybe she wants to be healthier long term, exactly. But I'm sure she wants to get somebody's attention.
For somebody to like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's buying clothes that show her shape so other people can see it. You know what I mean? Like, losing weight is a significant thing. is a very big deal, you know what I'm saying? And I can personally attest to it because I got big and was overweight, and I put forth the effort to slim down and get back in shape. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand how attraction works in that regard. But what's inconsistent is the logic. Because if a woman loses 75 pounds, right? Her friends, what do you think they're gonna be telling her? Girl, you killing it, you look great, you look great, you look awesome, right? That don't mean do they not get to benefit from going out to the club with you now? Because, you know what I'm saying, because you lost the weight? Like, so it's like, so if he was cool with you and he wasn't shaming you, he wasn't calling you, you know what I'm saying? Like, now if he was doing that, that's one
That's
thing.
different. That's
But if he's just cool and you like,
now
you're a woman that he's not attracted to physically, what is he? Why would he come at you sexually or romantically? Why would he shoot his shot at a woman he's not attracted to? Like, so to have that expectation on men, that's really illogical.
You know what, you hear the cliche like, okay, well, if he didn't want you then when you were big, or you shouldn't take him now when you don't have, when you lost 75 pounds. I think that's the think tank and the logic there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that doesn't make
Like,
much
let's
sense.
just say if it's me, I have a crush on somebody, and she turned me down for whatever reasons, and maybe
something
my
that
situation
you can
drastically
control.
changed.
It has to be something you can control.
Right, not because if it's money, then
Or
we know the time.
it could be, I mean, guys get curved for lots of reasons. It could be, man, I don't date short dudes. Or, nah, I don't date dark skinned dudes. Or nah, I don't like men have all kind of stuff that we get rejected for. And that's perfectly fine. But to reject someone because they didn't like you when you was in a bad position and now you looking fly as hell and now they attracted to you now, if they didn't have something negative to say about you in your other condition, then they didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
That's consistent with male behavior. Men do not go around shooting a shot at women they don't find fuckable. Period. Like, because what's the point? What's the point in trying to wine and dine a woman you have no interest in? The very first thing a woman would say if a man pursued a woman, wine and dine her, and then got with her, and then was like, man, I really like you. Now I want you to lose 75 pounds.
Right.
Right? Like, that's gonna be very problematic.
Right, and what makes it, I mean, some, and I have women that's gonna take that the wrong way. I think you're trying to body shame her, insult her, etc.
That could go way left. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't think that seeing the comments that women were making and the reasoning that they would cut off a dude, because I'm like, man, if the dude had enough going for him for you to be crushing on him for years, and he ain't did nothing that warrants being cut off or eliminated as a potential dating partner, then that's a flawed dating strategy. That's almost setting you up to guarantee that you don't end up with a quality dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, men, there are men that are very picky. You know what I'm saying? Like that judge women for very small things. But you know who usually do that? Men that are extremely successful with women. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are men that are extremely successful with women. So they're choosing between very attractive girl, so they can judge women like the classic movie Boomerang, Marcus Graham. He can, your toes ain't perfect. Like, he can do that.
Right.
When you see the chicks he's fucking, when you see the type of women he pulls on a consistent basis. The average person, or especially in this dating climate, I don't think women are in a position to be able to just cut off quality men for dumbass reasons like that. Now, if it's a valid reason, a dude having a small dick is a valid reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are not going to be sexually compatible, his tongue game ain't good enough to get it done, and whatever the case may be, if you're not going to be happy, you be able to be satisfied being with him, then that's a good reason to not be in a relationship with him. You know what I mean? But make sure it's a legitimate reason. Cutting a dude off because he wasn't attracted to you when you were obese or 75 pounds heavier is very unrealistic, especially when you see the transformation that makes in a woman when the average height of a woman is like 5'3", 5'4".
Right.
Like, because me, I had lost 40 something, almost 50 pounds, and I'm 6 feet tall. So if I'm talking about my face was round, everything, I was a lot bigger. So a woman gaining 75 pounds? Come on, man. That's the difference between, you know what I'm saying? Like looking like a snowman and looking like an elf. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a drastic difference in size. So let's wrap it up. Let's keep the ball rolling. I'm anxious to get into the topic of the night. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the topic where we're talking about the journey, how we got to the point that we're at with the podcast. You're listening to the More Than Life podcast. Thank you for tuning in. You have everything it takes to become an effective dater. I've simplified the entire process for you. All you need to do is make some adjustments to your approach to learn how you're supposed to date by downloading the Terry Duran Dating Compatibility Guide. It's available for only $1.50 exclusively at TerryDuranBooks.com. All right, everybody, welcome back. You're listening to the More Than Love podcast, and this week we are talking about the journey, how we got to the point that we were working together, actually doing this podcast in the first place. So this started a couple years back when I first got on social media. I wasn't giving relationship advice. I was creating memes. So I was one of the, I would consider the most popular meme makers. I created a meme organization where we kind of saturated social media with memes.
Quote memes.
Quote killers. Yeah. So a lot of you probably saw our memes floating around, the little QK logo all over social media, celebrities reposting them and things of that nature. So our content was really viral, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I would make real controversial memes. Side chick memes, cheating memes, thought memes.
They were funny. Like I said, I reposted a ton of them over the years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I would give a real authentic perspective on different things. So the content, it got my comments popping. And so that is what prompted me to start giving relationship advice, because I would see women in my comments like saying so much stuff, and I'm like, women can't really think this. You know what I'm saying?
But they do, because remember after that you transitioned to the Real Man's Mind Frame, where
right.
You would get a question in your DM and you would answer it on your page.
Right, and that's I was thinking, I was like, man, these women are forming their thoughts about men based off their bad dating experiences, fuckboys, deadbeats, or just the negative assumptions that women have about men in general. Right. And so I'm like, bet, if I can tell them how a real man would think and operate, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I can just give them a real, uncut, raw vision of what real men think and how we operate, then that'll do a couple of things. It'll, one, help them stop doing the stuff that caused them to have problems with those kind of men. Two, it'll help them identify a fuckboy or a bum or a deadbeat. If you say like, oh no, he ain't operating the way quality men operate, right? And three, it'll help improve their relationships or their interactions with those type of men. So to me, I'm looking at it like, man, I'm gonna be able to really help women. You know what I mean? Like, right. And so that's what initially I thought it would be when I started giving that advice.
I guess it's 50-50. I guess some probably did take heed to what you said, and others not so much.
Yeah.
But it was just funny though, the comments that you would get on some of those, some of your answers when you answered the question, and those comments, people, you getting all kinds of vitriol your way.
Yeah, man, it comes with a lot of negativity, but I understand that that's just based off the content. Even people that are extremely positive get negativity or get criticized.
Right.
So that you just gotta have tough skin to be popular on social media in any capacity, really.
Or any kind of public figure, like you said, social media, YouTube, etc.
Yeah, it comes with some backlash, and just the fact that people can comment anonymously through an app or a device that gives people. It puts them in a position to say stuff they wouldn't say in real life.
Right.
You know
so
what I
you
mean?
can
Like,
be, and yeah, like I said, you can use anonymous names, aliases. You don't even have to show your face.
yeah. So it allows people to just be something that they may not be in real life, and be a gangster online, and do things that are blatantly disrespectful or would be out of line in any other arena. But as far as my original content, so how did you and your partners react to the stuff that I was
We would laugh because how I came in contact with you. My boy, he would tag me in your stuff, and then show me the comments, and I would just laugh, and I'd post some of the stuff on my page. Hey, they were pretty funny. Get hits, likes, comments.
Yeah, so when I started doing the relationship advice, as far as my content, how much did that reflect what y'all actually saw?
I mean, it reflects a lot because this is, that's a lot of stuff that, me and my friends talk about all the time. During, guys' night time and stuff. We talk about stuff. It's like, wow, and I think, this is a lot of men's stuff that he's talking about here on his relationship page.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times women will say, that's just what you think, or that's just what
right.
I'm like, no, I've spoken to, I got frat brothers, I got army buddies, like I've been around large groups of men my entire life. So I've observed lots of other guys and what they experience, what they do, how they operate. And I've learned a lot from watching other guys. A lot of guys do dumb shit when it comes to women and dating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and to me, I've always been of the mindset, you don't got to experience something personally to learn from it. If I see you do something dumb and have a negative result from it, I can learn from watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And so I take the approach like, man, if I can school women on how to prevent the problem, then that will instantly, or remove what they're doing that is unknowingly creating a problem, then that by definition or by default is going to improve the quality of their relationship. Because in general, quality men are real laid back and easy to get along with. That's why we really don't have that much beef or problems with other quality laid back men. Yeah, you can get a situation where you got the hot head or the gangster or the crazy dude that makes something pop off. But if you just got a bunch of cool, laid-back quality men that's making money together, you're not likely to get a fight or some drama. Because those type of men operate in a way where they're trying to resolve issues to prevent them from
It won't be
occurring.
a bunch of, unnecessary drama here.
Right. If it's something drama, some drama, it's well deserved. You know what I mean? Like, people are always gonna have conflicts when you get in groups. But talking about the things from a dating perspective, man, I always was like, man, no, I had thought about this a long time ago, but I could never put it into no real context, like the skill it takes to be successful with women. Like, I always felt like it was skill, because to me, those are the same skills that I use in my professional work. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to talk, my communication, being able to interact, having swag, having people talking to you and all those type of things. All those things lead to success with women. And so when I'm a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd by default. So a lot of my intelligence and my IQ was focused on studying chicks, studying other guys, and figuring out how to work what I had at my disposal to make me more attractive to women. And so without having to lie or deceive them, just learning to highlight my strengths and avoid my weaknesses per se. And so the skill that I've learned and the things that I've been able to peep game on over this time, the ways that I was able to set orgies out, figure out which chicks was down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like PhD level shit when it comes to dating. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't realize how much of a difference it was until I started doing this page. And I started interacting with thousands of guys and guys from different cities and countries and backgrounds. And I'm like, oh, everybody wasn't just running through holes with their roommate, with their best friends, and y'all wasn't just passing holes to each other, and that wasn't it.
I mean, not everybody got the college experience.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you're right. So I knew
the
there
military experience. You know, added to another experience within itself.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, damn. I mean, I saw so many, because I'm not the best. I have friends that were way more successful than I was. I got married at 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my dating career was like somebody, a Grant Hill career end. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody whose
right there
prime was over at when it shouldn't have been. So I didn't get to experience as much as I could have. But at this point now, like I'm 15 years married, so like now it's like, damn, I'm 40. I have the wisdom of a former player, whatever you want to call it, and the experiences that come with being a man that got married young, was unhappy, cheated, was close to getting divorced, and getting on a path to where I'm actually happily married, and I have all the resources in the world to be fucking hoes and doing what I want, and I just choose not to. You know what I mean? Like, that's the wisdom that I think is really valuable, and that's what I try to, you know, use my platform to expose by connecting with other guys that I can partner with that are like-minded, that actually want to help, that actually want to see people improve. So, you know, the way that we linked up and started doing the podcast, I remember I had been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I would actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, with my job, I travel a lot and everything. And I initially wanted to have female input. So that's how with the old show, Talk Time with Terry Duran, it was me, you, and a lady by the name of Cheryl Brandon. What up, Cheryl? Shout out to her.
Shout out to you.
And she's from New York as well. So we were doing the audio version of the podcast on Blog Talk Radio. Y'all can still go check. I think the episodes are still available on Blog Talk.
We took calls. We got some interesting calls.
It was a different format than this one. We had a phone line, and so occasionally we would get a list of people that would call in. So the conversations and the questions would be kind of unorthodox.
Right.
But we ended up transitioning in 2018 to a video podcast. I upgraded and got some new equipment and got some things in place to where we were able to actually produce the video format show. And people probably don't realize how much went into
it. I was gonna say too. That's the thing, you know. If people don't realize the work that goes into people just seeing, you know, oh well, it's just two guys just up here just talking shit, you know. But people don't realize the work that goes into setting this stuff up, you know, making sure everything's right, the angles right, the lighting's right, all that stuff that goes into it.
Yeah,
and even the editing after, you know, Terry puts in a lot of time, you know, editing, make sure it looks right.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, you know what I mean, because my background, my undergraduate degree is in mass communication, television production, and then my master's degree is in communication as well. And so to be having a kind of a mobile TV studio set up where I travel and I have to set up, and I have, you know, I've been investing thousands of dollars for long periods of time, you know, websites, like all the stuff that goes into being official. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I mean, you mentioned, you know, the finances, what it goes into, you know. I mean, you know, we're investing in ourselves, you know, to make this the best show that it can be, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the part that really gives me a lot of satisfaction. You know, when people recognize me or give me feedback or thank me for the insight that I've been able to give by making my content accessible. You know, people can access the podcast 24/7, YouTube channel. They can go to my page and read content, etc. So it feels fulfilling for me to be seen as the voice for a lot of men. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have men attacking me or feeling like I'm slandering men or I'm, you know what I'm saying, misrepresenting men. A couple guys will get mad and be like, man, you telling women the code, you telling them, you know, the secrets and whatnot. And to
I
that.
think Steve Harvey got that take.
But I'm like, man, it don't matter. That most women are not gonna listen anyway. You know what I'm saying? Most women just view it as entertainment. They just want to discredit it or call it bullshit anyway. So you don't have to worry about women really absorbing the information. The amount of women that are really watching the content to do that is small based off what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those guys don't really have to fear women changing their ways and smarten up and ever being able to just completely clap out for fuckboys. You know what I'm saying? They always gonna fall victim to those tactics because the way that they make their dating decisions and the approach that they take. As far as the show goes, I know you see a lot of the other podcasts and a lot of other people online or whatnot. Who are some other people that you know of that are kind of doing what we doing that you think the followers could check out?
Let's see. Alpha Male Strategies. Check out Red Pill Chauvinist. I enjoy a lot of his content. What's
the M?
He's part of that MGTOW crowd. Definitely enjoys I know Mr. Freeport do stuff. I enjoy some of Mr. Freeport stuff. I know those guys are considered, controversial.
So they're completely against ever getting married, right? Or just under the right circumstances.
I don't think they, believe in getting married or a committed relationship. And I know they're, like I said, there might be people might consider partial left, but they do say some good stuff. I can't.
They say some real stuff.
These are pretty thorough brothers. I gotta give them that.
Yeah, I remember we had Mr. Freeport on the show.
That's his stuff so controversial. Some people didn't even listen to it. People saw MGTOW, and then you got somebody says, "You guys hate women. This, that, that. You guys believe in MGTOW?" And then, I didn't. Prior to the episode, I really didn't even know what it was.
I was gonna say that episode that we did with him was to learn what it actually was and what their perspective was on it. Because obviously, I believe in marriage. I'm married. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I definitely don't agree with everything that they say, but I definitely understand how they can feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, based off divorce laws in America and the system and the attitudes that a lot of women display. I can understand why a lot of guys choose not to get married. You know what I mean?
I would tell you, and y'all know might be some of you that's familiar with Tariq Nasheed. I know he had Max Lessons Radio from the 2000s and earlier this decade. It went from mid 2000s to earlier this decade. Said a lot of stuff. Even he said a lot of stuff that we talk about to this day. So
yeah, I say all the time, if I wasn't already married, I don't think I would get married. So I can definitely relate. You know what I mean? Like, just my wife thinks drastically different than the typical female. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, that's a testament to my dating strategies to be able to identify a woman that actually gets it at a very young age. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so when we talk about like credibility and people question me, I'm like, man, I'm living my prime as a bachelor or as a single dude.
right.
I meet a quality woman that lots of dudes on campus wanted to wife up and wanted to be with. They got her shit together and got, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I married my crush at 25 and been married. Like, I don't know. To me, I should be headed to the dating Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, like what are you talking about?
I can imagine that's hard to do, especially being married. That's a pretty young age to get married. And a lot of people that do get married at those ages don't last. You're right. It lasts maybe 2 years or so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But to me, that's what dating success means. Like, from a male perspective, to go from being successful, Kappa on campus at Southern University, one of the largest HBCUs in the country, you self-sufficient, independent, well-known, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I mean, listen, I can tell you, right, be at 25, that's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I never would have, I never expected. It was a shock to me too. But when we had the discussions and I was thinking about it, like, man, she meets all my criteria. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've smashed lots of women. Like, my body count was already had lost count. So when I started thinking about what I could potentially miss out on, I just was like, man, I'm gonna go all in and see, because I was only gonna do it once.
Right.
So and to be honest, I didn't think it was gonna last. I didn't honestly think I could be with a woman long term. So I was like, but if it don't work, y'all ain't gonna be able to say it's my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was kind of.
But you know, I guess, you know, it's a testament to the work you put into making the marriage work. On both sides here, you know, you went through your childhood tribulations, then she was near divorce, as you said earlier in the show, and now, you know, you're going 15 years strong.
Yeah, you know, it's possible. You know, if you got two people that have the right attitudes and have the essential things in place that it takes to make a relationship last, anything is possible. You know, when you have a foundation of mutual respect, you have the communication where you can openly discuss things, good, bad, whatever. You have effective problem solving mechanisms in place on ways that y'all get through issues. And you have your priorities and values actually align with theirs, then it's easier to get past the things that you may have felt was a deal breaker or you may have been making a big deal out of, you know. But you also have to put things in perspective. You know, as you transition and you get older, you're going to mature, you're going to view things differently, having kids, all these type of things.
Right.
Change your perspective and change your value system on what you're willing to lose and what you're not willing to lose. And so to be able to get to a point where you with a quality man and he feels like it's not worth doing something that could cause him to lose you or the situation that y'all have, that's where you want to get. That should be your relationship goal. Not how somebody else you think is doing it, but just being able to consistently have your man feel like it's not worth it to jeopardize your relationship, and for you to feel like, man, these things that I'm learning about on Terry's page, where all these relationship killing behaviors, let me make sure I'm not doing it. Let me make sure that's not my mentality. Let me make sure I'm not one of these chicks that be going ham in the comments. Because if you can do that, you have a much better chance of having a relationship.
Having a successful relationship. You know, I mean, like you said, like we always say, there's no way to
Guaranteed.
There's no way to cheat-proof a relationship, you know, or guarantee a marriage or any of that. Or guarantee that stasis go away, but
you can increase the odds.
Increase odds, exactly.
You can increase the odds, or you can think and operate in ways that decrease the odds. All right, so looks like we are up against the clock. We're gonna be wrapping up the episode. Shout out to my man Jay for making all the way to H-Town so we could do the episode. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting us over the years. We definitely appreciate the love. Shout out to my man Brother Soul for the audio. He been lacing us with the background music. So big shout out to him. We really appreciate the support. This has been another episode of the More Than Love podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a good one.